So you want to see some books, do you? You a reader? Is that what you are? Well, this girl got books. Hello again, and today I have a book haul, and in true Hannah style, all these books that I'm going to show you are from a charity shop. I feel like, again in true Hannah style, the lighting is hideous. I'm sorry. So there is a lot of books to get through, so I'm just going to dive straight in. Dive. The Amityville Horror by Jay Anson. I think people know what this book's about. It's about like a haunted house, it's paranormal, it's horror. I love all things horror, so of course I had to snap this up. I then got Poetry Please it's foreword by Charles Castley, and it's 100 popular poems from the BBC Radio 4 programme. So obviously it's just poem anthology. But this is often in like beautiful books hauls, but this is like the unattractive version. I got The Boy with the Striped Pyjamas by John Boyne. I've seen the film. Basically it's set in World War II. You've got a little boy whose dad is a Nazi, and they live near a concentration camp, and the Nazi boy, I suppose, makes friends with the boy inside the concentration camp, and they speak through the fence and they become friends. And it's really sad because it's about the brutality of war, and it's a really good film, and obviously because of that I think the book is going to be good. I then need help because I got Terry Pratchett, The Colour of Magic. It's the original Discworld novel, and I know there's a Discworld series, and I just get so confused. Is this the first book? I then have this really interesting book, and I can just imagine it in like Urban Outfitters and cool people reading it. It's just one of those looks of books. It's called The Lives of the Muses, 9 Women and the Artists They Inspired. And so it seems really interesting. In this you've got obviously Yoko Ono and John Lennon. Yoko Ono is actually very interesting if you look into her life. She was a really successful artist before she met John Lennon, and if you read quotes from her, you kind of read them and you're like, wow, like you're a genius. Like, there's something about Yoko Ono that always fascinates me. Also in this is Alice Liddell, who inspired Lewis Carroll to write Alice in Wonderland, so obviously that's an interesting story. I then got Woman of Letters, The Life of Virginia Woolf by Phyllis Rose. Virginia Woolf is someone, I've said before, she puzzles me. I have to do like an essay on To the Lighthouse, and just it's a stream of consciousness writing, and I find it painful. And so I want to understand Virginia Woolf. It says on the back, there's a line where it says, Virginia Woolf's past reverberates in her novels. And there's a bit on To the Lighthouse and how it corresponds with her personal life, which might help me understand it a little bit more. I then got Perfume. This is by Patrick Says Kind. Again, everyone, she's got a boob out, I'll censor that. Everyone has like the really nice edition of it, but this is like what it originally looked like a penguin orange spine, which is interesting. I think it's 18th century, about a man who, does he kill women on their scents? I'm not sure, but RG's Devilship, she has done a review on this book. That's what prompted me to buy it. So I will link her review down below. Go and watch it. You're probably already subscribed to her channel, subscribe if you're not, but also go and watch her video on it because it will make you want to read this book, and she'll just say it a lot more eloquently than I can. Prepare to be jealous, prepare to be bowled over. I have never in my life been able to get a graphic novel from a charity shop. Look what I bloody well got. Is it Persepolis, maybe? By Marjane Satrapi. Everyone has this, everyone loves this. It just looks like a normal paperback. It's a graphic novel. It's about a girl in Iran who, she is the granddaughter, the great-granddaughter of Iran's last emperor. It's about public life and personal life and everything to do with that, and I've wanted to get this for a long time, but it's quite expensive. I find graphic novels really extortionate, to be honest with you, but I understand you're getting an art book and that's why you're paying more money, but I just don't have the money to like spend on that. So I'm really glad I got it in a charity shop. I'm excited. I believe there's more in the series though than this one, so I'll see. I then got 12 Years a Slave. It's a true story. It's by Solomon Northup. This was first published in 1853, so it's like a proper old book. It's about a man who, it's a black man called Solomon. He was a successful violinist. He was then kidnapped and had to work on a cotton plantation and became a slave. 12 years being a slave, and then he eventually escaped. But the thing about this that I find very fascinating is you often think of slavery being something people are born into. You don't think of someone just taking me and being like, oh, because the colour of your skin, Hannah, like, you're going to be a slave now. And everything you've accomplished and everything you've done is just wiped because of the colour of your skin. Very fascinating tale, and something that I feel like I know nothing about. I know nothing really about slavery or anything like that at all, to be honest with you. So it'll be interesting to read and like educate yourself on more books like that. I really feel like you can educate yourself in anything because of the internet. If you're watching me, you're on the internet, you can really learn about anything you want, which is a cool time to be living in. I then got 2 Lemony Snicket books. These are in the series, a series of unfortunate events. Unfortunate events, got very Essex then, sorry about that. I read the first one, absolutely loved it. So I managed to pick up book 2 and book 4. Where the hell is book 3? Obviously they kept hold of that one, didn't they, in their little clutches. Yeah, I do enjoy them. The only thing I don't enjoy about these books is he'll have a really long word and then he'll put that word in a sentence, explain what the word is, put another example, because he's trying to make adult words accessible. Oh my god. He's trying to make adult words accessible to children, and so he has to explain what they mean, and that is annoying to read as an adult. C.S. Lewis, he doesn't give 2 hoots. He'll put a long word in, he'll put a complicated line, like Bible subtlety within it, because obviously he was a religious nut. And he'll put all that in and he'll never explain it. So as a child you must be thinking, what? And I like that. I don't like the continual like, oh, you're a child, you need to be told. So that's the only thing that annoys me about this book. Apart from that, they're absolutely brilliant. Like, they are genius, they're fantastic. I also got a bookmark, which was in that one. It's Henry VIII, King of England. Let's be honest, Anne's on it. That's the only reason I got it. There's good old Henry, and there's his little 6 wives of Henry VIII. Anne is there. The rest can just piss off. I then got Paradise by Toni Morrison. I read The Bluest Eye, fell in love with it, thought it was the most beautiful book I've ever read. It was stunning. It broke my heart. And like majority of books and the majority of films will break your heart, but by the end of it they've like restored your faith in humanity, and there's a silver lining, and Hollywood's, you know, made everything okay, carry on buying stuff, capitalism. Whereas with Toni Morrison, she leaves you thinking, I just want to kill myself. And I enjoy her writing. It's really good, it's really honest, brutally honest. This isn't really a book, but it kind of is a book. It's like the tiniest book you'll ever see. Penguin published it, and it's like a 60p book, it says on the back, but that was a bit of time ago, so it's probably cheaper now. And this is Miss Reed Village Christmas, and Miss Reed has written many novels and short stories and all about rural villages, and it's just going to be a lovely little book. I'm going to read it and then I'm probably just going to give it to my grandma. I then got a Neil Gaiman book. Neil Gaiman wrote Coraline, if you don't know, there's the girl with the buttons in the eyes, that one. I thought the concept of Coraline was amazing, fantastic. The execution at times was a little bit slow, and it just, there was something about Coraline, I don't know what it was, I couldn't get into it enough to really say I enjoyed it, but it was an amazing concept. So again, this is M is for Magic. Seems like a really great concept. I just hope I get into it more because I do really like his, you know, ideas. It's difficult to be original, I find, in this day and age, and yet some people manage it. He manages it. I want to give it a go. Oh, next up, Charles Manson. Bet you weren't expecting that. Helter Skelter by Vincent Buglonios, I don't know, with Kurt Gentry. This is the world's #1 true crime bestseller. People loved this. I think one of those two worked on the Charles Manson case. I don't think I've mentioned this, but I'm a bit fascinated by the Manson family murders. It's just a weird case, isn't it? It fascinates me, like everyone. I don't know why, because obviously he's a mass murderer. He killed innocent lives, and yet there's so much around Charles Manson, and there has been many mass murderers before him, and there'll be many after him, and so I don't understand the fascination, but I kind of do because I feel it a bit. Do you know what I mean? It's got to a stage now where my mum says I'm not allowed to mention his name in this house because she gets a bit creeped. I'm living at university, I haven't mentioned it at all. It's not something you bring into conversation, dear. I've got a bit of a fascination with a mass murderer. It's not that kind of thing that you would drop in, you know, like a party, a party conversational starter. Not really. So it's interesting. They actually killed a lot of people. People can only, you know, Catherine Tate, the film actress, they only really know her. I will say, I think this is going to be a really hyped up, entertaining version of events, whereas the actual versions maybe aren't the same. You know, this is probably made for entertainment purposes. That sounds horrible to say, but it probably is. I think it's going to be full of conspiracies, hyped up information, probably a lot of not very accurate information, but I think it will be an entertaining read, as entertaining as it can be. I then got Dodie Smith's I Captured the Castle. Heard a lot of good things about this. It's huge. Didn't realise it was that big, but quite big font, I suppose. I don't know much about it. This is the diary of a girl called Sandra. It tells about her family. Her father was once a famous writer. He now reads detective novels while his family slide into poverty. My kind of read. And I only have 2 more books to show you. First up is Mary Norton's The Borrowers. As a kid I was obsessed with the film The Borrowers. They're little tiny people who live under the floor, and it's about their lives. I've never read anything by Mary Norton, and I don't think I've ever seen a review of The Borrowers the book. So I have nothing really to say about that. I then have one of my old favourites, Ian Forster's A Passage to India. I've seen the film so I know what happens, but I read Ian Forster's A Room with a View, fell in love with it, and I'm currently reading Howard's End, which again is really good. It's kind of rich people. All his books are about rich people and their struggles that obviously aren't as big struggles as poor people or anything like that. But anyway, Passage to India is about some people go to India, they then go into the caves, and a woman says she has been raped, or I think sexually assaulted, I'm not sure which one, and it's about that. I'm not going to say anything more. These editions are really good though. You find them in charity shops. They're by the Reader's Digest, and they're just, you know, normal editions of books, but they got quite nice like font size and layout. It's just nice, and it's a substantial looking book. I'll show you it. It looks really pretty. This is a book I've wanted for a long time, but again, didn't really want to pay like £7 because this doesn't go down in value. So I got it now. Good, like Gollum. I've got it now, I've got it now. And that's it, that's the end of my review. If you have any opinions on these books, let me know. If you've read any or want to read any, then tell me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.